we can go now to our correspondent in Rome, Seema Gupta, for more on this story. Seema, give us an idea then. What has it been like this morning? What are people saying? What's the atmosphere like?
Well, around the corner of St. Peter's Basilica, down along the walls of the Vatican, there are these pilgrims lining up, queuing up just so that they can get in there to say their final goodbyes to Pope Francis. Now, his body this morning was moved from the chapel in the Casa Santa Marta residence where he chose to live. Unlike previous popes before him, he did not stay at the Apostolic Palace, but instead chose to stay at the simple residence. His body was placed in the chapel of that residence, and then now an elaborate procession with cardinals, Latin chants, his body led by the Camerlengo, the Cardinal Chamberlain, who is now officially in charge at the Vatican through this period when there is a sede vacante, that is the empty chair, when there is no pope in place. He is the Irish-American Cardinal, Kevin Farrell, and he presided over this procession, bringing the body into St. Peter's Basilica. And the body in a simple wooden coffin placed at a lower pedestal, as the Pope had requested, and right in front of the altar. So I've been speaking to some of the faithful that arrived here at St. Peter's Basilica today. There was a family from Bavaria in Germany, a very Catholic region. They said to me, "We booked this ages ago. We wanted to be here for the Pope's weekly Wednesday audience, but instead we heard the news. We're so disappointed, but we definitely want to stand in line to say our final goodbyes."
Seema, what about the next few days? What do we know about the arrangements, the plans? Of course, this funeral to be held on Saturday. What happens between now and then?
Well, essentially, for the next 3 days, the body of the Pope inside the Basilica will be open for people to file pass. And we understand that from today, it will go all the way in extraordinary hours, all the way till midnight. And then also the same to be said on Thursday. On Friday, though, it will be until 7 p.m. And we've also heard that at 8 p.m. on Friday, there will be the ceremony to close the coffin. And this ceremony will be presided over once again by the Camerlengo, or the Cardinal Chamberlain, Cardinal Kevin Farrell. It is another procedure there as the body and the coffin is prepared for Saturday. Saturday is the funeral for Pope Francis inside St. Peter's Basilica, presided over that funeral service by the Dean of the College of Cardinals, 91-year-old Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re. And we are expecting at least over 100 delegations from around the world to participate. And the authorities say they expect more than 200,000 people to attend the funeral. So security will be high. They are going to deploy additional police at St. Peter's Square and the areas around. There will also be additional big screens around the Vatican area so that people can view and participate in the funeral service. And then, of course, finally, Pope Francis himself will be laid to rest at St. Mary Major Basilica, one of the 4 papal basilicas here in Rome. Now, I was lucky enough to speak to one of the cardinals who was exiting from the service earlier this morning, and I asked him what was the feeling like inside. This was a Cardinal Jean-Paul Vesco from Algiers. He's the Archbishop of Algiers, and he said it was emotional being inside, and he said he's sorry to say goodbye to Pope Francis.
Okay, well, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks very much for that, Seema Gupta. And of course, we will be hearing more from Seema in the coming days.